Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to Fast Politics. I'm Matt Schneider.
And I'm Christopher McFarland. Thank you for joining us once again, where three things happen every time we get together. One, Matthew brags about how awesome he is. Number two,
this time I've got proof to back it up.
Number two, he secretly conveys to you through the medium of television his undying friendship for me. And number
I've never met him before.
And number three, he eventually bends his will and sees our point of view.
All right, half of those were true. But, ladies and gentlemen, what's so great and exciting this week is we are coming to you here with where there was a political earthquake. Donald Trump has been elected the President of America. I'm ecstatic. He's depressed. But
I'm not depressed.
Okay, we're going to find out what you are. But tonight's episode the purpose of it is trying to bridge the divide, to bring the country together and prove that no matter who won, we are Americans first, and the country will go on, and we're here to talk about it. So,
look,
Chris?
Look, he's trying to hold my... I told you, this guy who wants to hold my hand, he wouldn't let it go.
No.
All right.
I'll be washing this in 5 seconds.
I am, there was a lot of mixed emotions. And tonight's episode is going to be a bit of a fireside chat for Matt and I to kind of
break
we're not
down
yell.
Some
of the elements of the election.
No yelling.
There was, obviously, I felt incredibly sad, dismayed, frustrated. But it wasn't as much shock, I think, as some of my more liberal friends. When my dad came out to visit me from the conservative state of Missouri, during the summertime, and he was saying he was voting for Donald Trump, and my mom was voting for Donald Trump, I already had a sense that the country was more evenly divided than what the polls appeared to represent.
Well, the secret actually is out that the polls represented absolutely no truth whatsoever because
tons of places they did.
Mostly no. Tons of people were hesitant to admit their support of Trump, like myself at times, because he had been so wrongly portrayed as a misogynist, a racist, a homophobe, an anti-immigrant.
He is those things.
He is not those things. Chris still watches the media that is completely discredited in this election process.
I'm using his own words, though.
Oh,
Matt, you can't discount. You can't discount his own words.
We could go line by line, and I could discount everything you think you know about him. And we're not going to do that at this precise second because, Chris, we got to look forward.
It would be better look forward to if you just acknowledged what it was.
I can't acknowledge.
He won the election, so you should acknowledge a racist won the election.
A racist did not win the election. And what, Chris? This is here. I want us to bridge the divide. You ready?
What's more important?
No. What's most important?
Is being honest.
Right.
We should be honest about what happened.
Okay. Let's be honest. Can you admit that most Americans voted for Donald Trump not because of what you're describing?
Actually, that's not true. Most Americans did not vote for Donald Trump.
All right, the electoral.
Literally,
okay.
your opening statement is literally incorrect.
All right, the Electoral College.
See if you can say something true next. Go.
The Electoral College, which Hillary Clinton and yourself loved until 5 seconds ago because she lost it. Elected Trump president
again, not
fairly,
true.
And
we lost the Electoral College in the year 2000. Al Gore lost the election then. Since then, Democrats have been saying it unfairly represents the American electorate. Okay, so number two, out of the gate, Matt is still not connected with reality. But go on.
Chris. The fact is, Hillary should have won the Electoral College. As of 2 days ago, she was going to win in a landslide, in which everyone thought, predicted, and expected. She didn't.
You mean because of some of the polls?
Because Americans in this country realized enough was enough. They were tired of Clintons. They were tired of politics as usual. They wanted someone a change agent, someone to represent the common man to the world for the first time ever. And that is ultimately what happened. So the fact is, Hillary Clinton was a corrupt, horrible candidate. If you had nominated Joe Biden, if you nominated Bernie Sanders, maybe these candidates would have won in a landslide. But Hillary Clinton was flawed, and you have to admit that as well. So instead of you saying, you know what, this is a racist country and that we voted in someone who is racist and Americans are racist by extension, which is clearly what you're implying, why not celebrate the American spirit and say, you know what, Americans want to turn over a new leaf in this country and they want excitement and change.
He's filibustering. Look, I think you can't, it would be better for you to just own the things that he is and who turned out for him. He won this election because there was an unholy alliance of the Ku Klux Klan, of Russia, Russian intelligence, of
Russia doesn't vote in this election,
the-
Chris. So here's a news flash
Yeah,
for you.
but
okay?
they affected our election.
Okay.
Do you deny that?
I deny that
me
it had an
continue
impact
listening to
on the
Coalition,
American
though.
voters. They don't say, "Oh, who's Vladimir Putin endorsing this time around?"
let me-
I'll vote
I
for.
let you speak,
I'll vote
though.
for
Come
who's.
on. I let you speak. I
Barely
let you
let
speak.
me speak. This is why the show is not continuing, by the way, because we cannot speak over each other and have it be heard. If you had let me speak uninterrupted, I would have done. I would have given you the honor. So here, Chris, wrap it up quickly, please.
The coalition of forces that elected Donald Trump, the Ku Klux Klan,
We heard that already.
the
Yes.
alt-right,
Skip to the next.
the protest voters from the Democratic, the people who were Bernie supporters and now didn't want to Trump, the people who couldn't stomach voting for either candidate, the Armageddon-wishing evangelical voter, all these folks, and I don't think that this was a coordinated effort necessarily, but these are the folks that underpin the election numbers behind Donald Trump. Again, he didn't win the popular vote. So the takeaway from this election, it's not like he has a mandate going forward.
Of course he does.
I think what we learned from this election is the majority of American people, they believe in the healthcare system. They believe in equal pay for women. They believe in raising the minimum wage.
Okay,
They
great.
believe in all the platform
None of those are
positions of
true.
Hillary Clinton.
Because you know what? The fact
it is true. It is true.
Okay.
It is true, though.
Let me know when you're done talking, Chris, so I can speak. You done? Thank you. How about a moment of uninterruption? You ready? If any of that was true, then you know what wouldn't have happened? The Republicans wouldn't have taken full, complete control and retained control of the House, the Senate, governorships across this country.
The same people got elected.
This is a complete repudiation of Obama and his policies. And actually, it's just his policies, because I myself still like Obama as a person. Most people in this country like Obama.
Matt, if the
And
same people
so-
got reelected, it's not like it's not like he
It's
was a
a
big
rep-
change agent.
Hello. Obamacare is so unpopular, it's bankrupt, the prices are going through the roof, and you continue to defend it. I hope the Democrats continue to defend it until there's zero Democrats in elected office, because
There are
Obamacare
facts
is an
about-
anchor bringing them
there are
down.
facts about
And these are the
healthcare.
facts.
There are
These are the
about
facts,
healthcare.
baby.
Prior to Obamacare, healthcare insurance rates in California went up at triple-digit rates prior to Obamacare. That is a fact.
Okay.
As a result of Obamacare, insurance rates are still going up at a slower rate. That's not a difficult concept to
Congratulations.
process.
Well, it is a difficult. It's difficult for everyone in America to realize that
so-
we could do better than that, Chris. Democrats might settle
But
for
we
that.
haven't. We
Might
haven't.
settle for that. I won't settle for that. Donald Trump won't settle for that. He will do better for the American people.
You did settle for it. You did. Not only did you settle for it, you settled for a worse system prior to Barack Obama.
I don't know what
so
you're
the
talking about.
idea that Republicans are going to now come in and create a more socialized healthcare system is buffoonery.
It's not social. Exactly. I don't know. See, I don't know where facts you
think that
come
we're
up
gonna
with.
now the insurance companies are gonna suddenly bring down their prices because Donald Trump's in office?
That's called competition, Chris, and this is something that is
There was competition
unknown.
before.
It's unknown to Democrats because they want to control everything. But if you
That's
leave
what
it
we
to the
had
free
before.
market, if you leave it to the free market and you have these competitive
my God,
agencies
but how can you
work
ignore
across
history?
state lines, then prices drop.
How
So
can you
stay
ignore
tuned,
history, though?
because we're looking to the future, Chris. Next
But
topic.
that's not what happened in the past.
Well, I don't even know what you're referencing. So it's
All insurance rates up until Obamacare. That's what I'm referencing. Only the history
they
of
keep
America.
going up and up. How about a policy that
Right,
changes
so there
the
was
direction?
competition before.
There wasn't competition before. There's no competition across
Oh my
state
God.
lines. I don't know where you're looking. You can
Do
look
you
to the
honestly
heavens.
not know
There's no
that
facts.
in Los Angeles,
All
every
right.
insurance company
We
in the
were-
country is represented here?
Okay.
So they were all
that's-
competing.
You don't know how long.
That did not drive
All
down
I don't know
prices.
why we're debating
Prices
Obamacare
raised
on
up.
the day of Trump's huge victory, but
Because you
Chris,
don't have a
this-
leg to stand.
Chris, this is
That's
what you
why
don't
we're
understand.
talking about it.
Chris,
That's why
this
I
is
get
what you
second
don't
mind
understand.
these issues.
Chris, this is what you don't understand about Obamacare is that insurance companies can't compete across state lines. They're actually regulated. There's only certain companies that compete in each state. If you nationalize
insurance
it,
companies
if
are
you-
in
that's
almost
wrong.
every
I'll-
state.
That's wrong, Chris. Stop watching MSNBC. Expand your viewpoints. All right, let's move on to the
I
next
actually
topic.
worked in insurance, so I
Okay.
actually know
Well,
quite a bit more about
I guess
this than this guy. But that's okay.
Well, now we
It
know why
doesn't
you.
matter.
Well, now we know
It
why
doesn't
you.
matter.
Well, now we know why you don't work in it anymore because you didn't know what you were
let's
talking
talk
about,
let's
Chris.
move on.
Let's
talk
move
about-
on. Let's talk
talk
about where to
the
move
future
forward.
of the country.
Yes, we're on
There
the
we
same
go.
page.
Look,
Okay.
we can find some common ground. The
Okay.
future of the country.
See-
okay, I think that if we think about where we've come from these past 8 years and the obstructionist sort of dynamics that we saw, the gridlock in Congress, we're now moving into a period of time where the president controls every body of Congress.
What?
will
What are you
also.
even talking about? The president controls everybody. Are you trying to say the Republican Party controls every part of Congress?
Well, yes,
Because
the Republicans
This is what's
control.
great about having Trump as president, because he's actually secret revealed, which you knew before. He's not really a Republican. Okay. Guess what? People didn't vote for him because he's a
We
Republican.
don't quite know what he is, but
Okay,
he's definitely
not a
Republican.
So so it's actually a great thing that the Republicans are in the House and the Senate, because they're actually going to be a check on Trump. They're not. And Paul Ryan are not in sync. Trump and the Republicans are not in
I
sync.
think that's clear.
It's well, then if it's clear, here's a newsflash to you and your Democratic friends: Trump is your best friend, because you're not going to cozy up to the Republicans, real Republicans
you're
in
insane
Congress.
If you think that a misogynist racist is our best friend, that is not true. But here's
Okay.
the reality.
He's
Here's
not
the
a
reality.
misogynist and he's not a racist.
The good news-
the people who voted for him in this country, who made him president, know that to be the truth.
The good
You
news
can
for
keep
Democrats-
spitting it out over and over again, but it ain't gonna make it true.
Look, the good news is, and I think that we're agreeing about this just in
We're not
different
agreeing
terms
on
here,
anything
is
so far. So.
is that Donald Trump absolutely doesn't have a mandate for the United States citizens.
Wrong.
He also doesn't get along with the Republican Party. There's massive divides. In fact,
Agree.
the
Okay,
Republican
we agree on
Party
that.
is fractured in a way, I would argue, in an unhealthy way for America, but definitely fractured in a way that's going to make it very difficult.
If I
for
was
Donald
you,
Trump to
I would
work.
not be worrying about the Republican Party, because your Democratic Party has been
And
destroyed.
here's the difference between us.
It's
See,
it's
I
left on the
actually
floor.
care about the health
Oh, you
of
care.
the American political
No, you don't.
system, because it directly impacts
Okay,
our
I do
policy
too. I want
and how we move forward
I
as
want a
country.
Democratic Party that's
not
strong
something
and
that
vibrant.
You understand.
I want a Democratic
But
Party
that's
that's
okay.
strong
That's
and
okay.
vibrant, Chris.
So the good news for Democrats is, in 2 years, if you don't like the results of what just happened now, you can actively get involved.
Oh,
You can
wow.
flip
Is that
the
wow,
House of
Chris?
Representatives.
I don't know if I
And
knew
just
that, but
like
now
Prop
they do.
8,
Thank
just
you.
like Prop 8
All right.
galvanized Californians to fight for the rights of LGBT communities, and then we did flip it 4 years later. We now have an opportunity to activate that same sort of drive to shift this country in the trajectory that we all want, clearly as a majority represented in this election.
Blah blah.
So,
okay, Chris, this is what's
I
exciting.
can't be depressed. At the beginning, you were like, Chris is depressed.
shouldn't be
and
depressed.
And I'm not depressed.
Okay, you know what? You should be ecstatic. You shouldn't just be depressed. You should be ecstatic, because Trump now is going to prove that he will be a great president. And you want to know how and why? Because people like you and across this country have such low expectations for him. You think he's going to start a nuclear war. You think he's a misogynist. You think he's a racist. The fact is, he's none of those things. At the very worst,
In your opinion.
factual. At the very
You have
worst,
nothing to base that on, though.
at the very
Matt, we have quotes. Like, he has literally said this
At the
stuff on
very-
television that you ignore, and then from your gut feeling. And I think you actually fairly represent the Republican electorate that voted for him. They all also ignored
it's not just the
everything he
Republican
said.
electorate. Yeah, you know why we ignored?
Tell us why did you guys ignore what he said he would do? Tell
Because
us.
you and your friends in the media and the Democratic Party ignored Hillary Clinton's criminal activity on multiple fronts.
Okay, so it was tit for tat.
It wasn't
That's what
just
you were
tit for
doing.
tat, but we ignored stupid things Trump
That's
said.
the first time that's been articulated. I don't think we've actually seen that articulated
Well,
on
it's been
TV
articulated just now. You ignored criminal action that actually put American lives in danger.
Not
we
true.
ignored
Not
we
true.
ignored
Absolutely
stupid quotes
debunked.
that Trump talked about with Billy Bush of Access Hollywood when he didn't know his mic was on. Okay? Yes.
As if that should matter, that grabbing women by their vagina, he should only say that when the mics aren't on. That's your argument.
No, the argument is if he
Okay.
actually did that, it would be horrible. The fact is he only said it, which is
12
mildly
women
bad.
have come forward. Not
12
11.
Yeah,
12 women have come forward. and
out
said
of the blue,
that
2 weeks
he
before the
literally
election.
did
Two-
the exact thing
Sure.
that
Okay.
he said he did.
Well, guess what? It didn't matter. Okay. Because Hillary Clinton, as the FBI director, was basically saying he was begging to indict her, and he knew Obama wouldn't allow it, and that no one else would allow it either. We've got a surprise visitor here.
Guido, what are you
This is
doing?
everyone's least favorite correspondent, Guido Corleone. What are you doing here?
How's it going, guys?
Hey,
Good.
you know we're live, right? It's TV time.
Hey, man,
So-
I just woke up. You guys are in my living room.
Wrong again, Guido. You
Guido.
smell a little high, actually. Have you
What
been
are
smoking?
those fumes? Is that
Well, you know, the Prop 64 passed. You guys hear about that?
yes? Congratulations to California. We can now enjoy recreational marijuana.
Yeah!
Guido, is that do you know it hasn't actually been enacted yet? It takes a little bit of time before folks can start recreationally using it.
So I think you're
Yeah.
actually in violation
Yeah.
of some laws, so we should send you to jail right now.
No.
But did you hear about the presidential election, Guido?
presidential election?
Who
Election,
won? What's
the
your
United
thoughts?
States of America.
What happened?
Well, your favorite candidate and mine, Donald Trump, is the great next president, 45th president of this country, and he will be one of the greatest. You heard it here first.
How do you feel about that, Guido?
Didn't the condom thing pass in California?
Actually, I didn't. I lost track of that particular
Yes.
way.
Oh, no, you don't have to wear condoms. So
In porn,
go.
there was a ballot measure in California about condoms and porn, and for some reason, there was a lot of people pulling on both sides. I don't know why everyone was so passionate about it.
All right,
Guido,
Guido.
thank you for joining us in your living room. We're gonna have to ask you to move though, because again, we are on live TV. So, thanks a lot, buddy.
Okay.
Good work, Guido.
Good work. More conspiracy theories in the future to come. All right.
Go Harry Clinton.
Go
All
away.
right.
All right, folks.
So anyway, I'm not depressed about the future. I'm excited. I feel like this is going to activate a lot of people, probably on both sides of the aisle, but it's going to activate a lot of people to participate. And that's the thing that I want more than anything.
All right, and before we welcome on Danny, let me just break down something exciting, in my view, which was a huge mistake you made and everyone in the media made, because you talked
You
up...
love pointing out everyone else's mistakes, by the way.
Well, I just
want to acknowledge
I would
that.
just love to admit that I was on the Trump train from the very beginning, way back in the primary
Oh,
process.
no one questions that.
No one questions what.
That you were on the Trump train.
All right. Well, I'm just saying. So this is my day to celebrate. Don't rain on my parade, Chris. Don't rain on the parade, baby.
We agreed prior to this show that there would be no gloating. But I
I
guess
didn't
that
agree to
only
that, but-
applied to me if Hillary won.
Well, what were you going to gloat about? And actually, if Hillary did win, I was very prepared to be like, you know what? The American people have spoken. I think they chose the wrong path, but we move forward. Instead, Chris and his people are out in the streets protesting tonight, saying Donald Trump is not our president, and you continuing saying he's a racist, a misogynist, and all this other stuff. What happened to the thought?
Because he is,
It's
Matt.
no, he's not. And how about the fact
There
that
are state-
this,
I-
every time
I don't know why you wanna
every
argue with
time
reality.
Obama won, I didn't vote for him, but every time he won, he became my president, and I was supportive of him and eager to see him
Acknowledging
succeed.
who he is doesn't detract from your victory. I don't know why you connect the two. Like, why can't you just be like, yeah, he won, and isn't it amazing? A racist just won.
Because he's not a racist. I mean, there's no proof to suggest.
is.
Okay, just. All right, you know this. Okay,
I
but
just- I don't
this was
get
my
why you
final point.
dispute that.
This was my final point before we welcome on Danny. The fact that you keep saying he was a racist is exactly why he won. Because the American people saw people like you. They saw people I like actually, like Bill Maher, Samantha Bee, these TV show hosts, everyone on every network news channel
Acknowledging
except
the
for Sean
truth,
Hannity,
right.
including Megyn Kelly, everyone on Fox News, everyone on every channel except for Sean Hannity, basically, we're all saying these false lies about Donald Trump, and the American people were like,
Lies
you know what?
usually are false, but go ahead.
You know what? The American people watched this and they said, I like Trump more than I like Chris, more than I like Megyn Kelly, more than I like Bill Maher,
Right.
more than I
He
like
tapped
all
into
these other
racism.
idiots. It had nothing to do with racism because he actually got the same amount of Latino vote as Mitt Romney. He got actually more black vote than Mitt Romney. So, and the fact is,
Wait, he got a few percentage points of the black community. You're saying that means that he's not a racist.
It means-
I just want to draw out the
Okay.
the algorithm, the calculation in your mind for what
and
makes him
Chris,
not a racist.
What makes him?
It's so absurd.
It's
I'm
so
hoping
absurd that you'll
you'll watch this back one
Okay.
day and go, oh, that was a crazy thing I said.
No, what's crazy is you just saying he's a racist and thinking that's supposed to stick and be true. Where is the evidence that he's a racist? Other than
I don't know. Maybe the very first day of his campaign. Maybe the first few moments of riding down that escalator and talking about how Mexicans are rapists and everything else.
All right,
Do you not remember that?
I don't remember because it didn't happen. He said some Mexicans.
Literally,
some-
that's what happens.
Well, we have
They
the
pretend
quote.
it didn't happen.
Oh, he said some Mexicans are rapists. That get sent over the border. That's all he said. He didn't say all Mexicans are rapists.
How about
He
his
didn't-
discrimination against the black community and
Ne-
on all of his housing projects?
Never happened.
Stuff that has actually gone
accusations.
through court.
Accusations. Anyone could accuse anyone of anything. I accuse you of being an idiot. Who knows if it's true or not?
We
All right,
factually know
let's
he did
go
these things. He
to-
factually
all right,
discriminated against black people.
My
We
final,
know that.
We don't know that. You know that in your fantasy
It's been
land.
exposed many
It's been
times.
exposed by nobody, no times.
Many times, Matt.
Zero
I literally
times.
don't know why.
Okay, why
can't
are
you-
you so concerned with this? But you weren't concerned with Hillary Clinton's corruption on multiple scandals. Every other word out of her mouth was a lie, but none of that mattered to you.
All of the investigations
that matter?
against Hillary Clinton revealed that she was not selling secrets to China.
Oh, because the secrets she was selling were deleted in those emails that nobody to this day has seen, that they've been bleached out of the existence. So you
If
can't
there
be
had been wrong,
you can't be
literally,
wholly pure. You can't be pure
Mr.
on one
Comey,
issue.
who is not a friend of Hillary Clinton, found her guilty of no wrongdoing. Maybe being irresponsible, yes.
he's
Maybe
a
being
friend?
too casual, yes. But selling state secrets abroad,
Okay, that's not even the only thing. There's a million other potential scandals that we could have talked about. The fact is, every word out of her mouth, even to this day, she was lying, and she's just a liar that people did not want to. People don't trust her, and that's why she didn't win. It's really that simple. I don't know why this is so
She
exciting.
won the popular vote.
Well-
she did win the popular vote.
Well,
Matt.
okay, because you know why she won the
More
popular-
Americans-
Because California
That's what you're
people
saying.
in California
Hillary
vote
Clinton
for her.
did win the popular vote.
Okay, because
which
there's
is
more
why
people- there's more
Donald
people in
Trump
California
doesn't have a
alone.
mandate going forward.
He has a mandate. He won he won states that he
And
shouldn't
so I
even
think,
have won.
tactically
He
speaking,
won-
especially when it comes down to things
Wrong.
like the Supreme Court,
Wrong.
the Democrats are now, many of our viewers may not know this, but one of the reasons we haven't been able to get Merrick Garland forward is because it requires 60 senators basically to approve and move forward. The problem is, for the Republicans, they only got 51 seats. So the reality is, we could pull the same stunt on you that you guys just did on
Well,
President
guess
Obama
what?
for the
Not
past
going to
year.
happen. Republicans are now talking, since they have control of everything, that we might get rid of that rule. Actually,
Change the rules.
We're
That
gonna
sounds
change
like
the
a very
rules.
Republican thing to do.
well, why not? Get some shit done. All right, let's bring on Danny for our final segment
Danielle
here.
Flanagan.
Danny, baby.
Welcome back to Fast
All right, I'm
Politics.
going to try to talk her out of leaving the country because she along with Jennifer Lawrence and Amy Schumer and all these celebrities, which I put you in that same category.
thank you.
Bryan Cranston.
Because I have an IMDb page.
Yes, look at you go. They all
Hey.
threatened. They all hinted that they might leave America if Trump wins. So, Danny, have you revised your travel plans?
No. Up until a couple of hours ago, I had not tried to change my travel plans. So I actually had packed all my things or in storage.
Oh my God, you're kidding.
Yes, no, I'm not kidding.
Oh my
They're
God!
in
All right, wait.
storage.
I was slightly kidding,
Wow.
Danny. I need to talk you out of this right now.
So let me tell you, I will tell you what's going on. So I packed everything, put it in storage. I have 2 storage units. I put housing furnitures and refrigerators and washers and dryers in one, and then clothes that I need to access and files and things for work in another one, which is much smaller. Combined, the bill's like $300. There are apartments across the border, right, in San Ysidro that are like $425 a month, and I can just cross the border like everyone else and come back into the States and work with everyone else.
No, but there's going to be a wall.
And then that's fine because I'm bilingual. Yo puedo trabajar allá
Can
en
you-
México.
can you rock climb?
Yo puedo
Do you-
trabajar
do you rock
también
climb
en
also?
Cuba y Argentina, cualquier lugar.
Inglés, por favor. Okay. But,
So
all right,
yeah,
Danny.
but
okay,
what
this is
I did have a conversation today with some friends back in Dallas because I kind of been tossing up. I actually went back to Texas a couple weeks ago, and then came back and just kind of been tossing it around. Like it really is bothering my soul. You know?
Okay, Danny, this is my main question
We
for
had a
you.
Let her finish this,
conversation
Matt.
with, I want to shout out to, it's going to be Fine Productions. It's a perfect name. For deciding to pull together a coalition of folks, which is happening right now across Facebook and Twitter, where people are deciding to coalesce, to get together, to unite in order to basically obstruct Donald Trump. And so that is our goal and everyone else's goal for the next 4 years. And it's starting with children, teenagers, basically starting out with protesting. Basically, what happened for the last 8 years is going to happen again for the next 4 years, but it's going to be against Donald Trump. So
Okay, the question is, what is your worst fear? Like, what do you? This is what I'm trying to convince people that you're fearing. Your fear is
Well,
misplaced because
no, my
Trump
fear's
is
not
actually
misplaced
he's the
because
best
here's
type
some
of
the-
Republican.
So I've had encounters where I've been spoken to inappropriately
By who?
in racial tones. I've had people call me nasty things.
By who?
A white lady just recently.
But how is that related to Trump?
multiple. She
Matt,
was a,
it's the Trump effect.
she
He has
had-
normalized this behavior.
She had a red hat on.
Oh, wait,
So-
it's funny you said that.
Yeah.
Guess what? I have
And
a
I'm
prop.
not the only one. I mean, right now I have friends taking pictures of trucks that are going down I-45 in Houston and Dallas, and they're on the back of the trucks are pictures saying like "Kill all Muslims, send all Muslims back," and it's a picture of Trump. Yes, there is a Trump effect. So here's what I'm going to say for you and for everyone else that's Republican and Democrat. He basically decided to destroy the elite. It was
Right.
successful.
Which is good.
He did that. He came in and did that. Strategically and tactically, Hillary Clinton's campaign and the Democratic Party made mistakes. They
Yep.
made some strategic mistakes in how they handled her campaign, how they handled Bernie Sanders, what they thought was going to happen. And being a Southerner and knowing the emotions that are out there with regard to having a black president for the last 8 years and people being forced to swallow the fact that there's diversity and that people are trying to get along and create unity and create commonalities and alignments, that didn't settle with a lot of white Americans. I am a Southerner. I'm speaking honestly. I'm speaking from my heart. This is what's out there. And if we don't want to own that he's a racist and a misogynist, perfectly fine. He used that platform and he garnered that platform in order to be successful in destroying the elite. And we have to own that. We have to be honest with that.
I don't necessarily disagree with. I agree he welcomed that type of support. But
he did.
I'll tell you
up until the day before when he got another KKK endorsement, and then he denied it.
Idiots out there can endorse anyone. You can't hold them
responsible. They're not idiots.
But these
you
are the
cannot
leaders.
speak of another American citizen and call their choice idiotic. So if they choose to be part of the KKK or they choose to be part of some other organization, that's their choice.
Sure, but
we can't say that they were idiotic for endorsing him. They made a choice and it resonated.
Okay, but you can't hold Trump responsible for
we're
idiots
not
who
holding him
you
responsible.
are. I'm sorry, but you actually are right now. But let me tell you,
we're not. You're going to stop and you're going to listen because you've been talking a lot. What happened is his campaign spurred that, and we know it. And if you don't want to own that he was misogynist and racist and sexist, that's perfectly fine. But the platform itself and the things that he said are all recorded for posterity and for eternity, and we all heard them.
Right.
And if we want to deny it, that's perfectly fine. But you look at that map, and it looks like an anchor. And it anchored us in the worst parts of the things that happen in this nation. The worst parts of ourselves were revealed. This is an opportunity for us to transform, and we're going to do it.
Okay, my final point. I agree with some things you're saying.
Go Danielle!
I agree with some things you're saying. I think the problem that you made, the problem that Hillary Clinton campaign made,
I didn't make a problem because that was not my candidate.
Okay, but listen. You saw these red hats and you instantly thought anyone who wore them was the devil. Look at this. This is a fun problem.
No, we don't assume that anyone that had this hat on was the devil.
Well,
when you walk up to me and you engage me in a negative way and you start to use foul language, including the N-word, and I've done nothing to instigate but stand there.
Of course, that's an individual who's bad. We're not disputing that.
There were multiples of that, and we saw it displayed on the internet
and
multiple
the behavior
times.
has proliferated,
and that's perfectly fine.
As a result of
I
Donald
understand
Trump.
that you have white fragility. I understand that you have white tears. I understand that your whiteness and the white supremacy aspect of this.
I don't see color.
I get it. Yes, you guys do, and that's it was white lash.
But see,
just like Van Jones said, it was white lash. It was people's rejection of the fact that there was a black man in office for 8 years who created opportunities for gays, for lesbians, for African Americans, for Muslims,
women.
for Latinos, for women. He created all this opportunity, and that is
what
was
Obama
rejected.
is great.
That was what is great, and there's no platform from your current candidate at all, and it's going to be proved. Wait to see what's going to be proven, and see what's going to be.
Okay, but in this new season, I assure you, Donald Trump will be the president for all Americans.
He
Stay tuned. His rhetoric may have been embarrassing, but he will turn over a new leaf because there are tons of Americans who wore these red hats who are not racist, who are not sexist, and who want to bring people together. We want to bring people together. Come on in. Come on in. Matt, this red hat is. Look at this. I'm reaching out, and I get no love in return. That's fine. That's fine.
Matt, look, we are all one people.
We are one
Americans.
people. So we should be
all have
together.
a democratic system, and despite Trump's trying to poison the idea that we have democracy or that our election results would be held up, in fact, there has been a peaceful transition of power. Respectability has been ensured.
And that's why we love that you watch Fast Politics. We'll see you next week.
And if it's politics, it is fast.
Can't argue with that. Adios, everyone.
Great guys.
I did not know that you were packing everything up.
Yes, I packed everything. I was not joking. I was definitely serious about leaving. But I talked to some of the people in Dallas.